Hi everyone, good morning. It is the 21st of June. It is a Monday morning. And this morning I decided before I start my next stitch for my patriotic stitching, which will be a long Macy wave bell pull by Fanci That. That's what I'll be starting later today. I decided to go ahead and do my fully finish that I had mentioned earlier in a video, and I hadn't gotten around to doing it yet. I had gotten interrupted with some other things in life, and so this morning I was waiting on a phone call, and while I was waiting, I finished Let's Stay Home and Stitch. I put it in a pillow. This is my backing fabric. I thought it matched the colors really well in the pattern, and I wanted to pull out the blue just a little bit, so I bought some pre-made piping that at the store, just where you get your seam binding, and you can see here the little pins that I purchased from Just Another Button Company that were suggested for this very pattern. I think they were made for another one, but they were suggested for this one. And I just think it's precious. So this is my pillow. I'm gonna go put it on my mantle now to go with my other 4th of July because the colors are perfect for it. And then I can display it in my sewing room the rest of the year. But this is on 28 counts. That gives you an idea of the size of a pillow. I had left an 1.5 inch margin when I cut it so that I would have enough room to stuff it really full. And I've stuffed it just with my polyfill. It's not heavy, it's very light. And then I'll put it on my mantle. I hope you like it. I'm gonna go have lunch with my hubby, and then I will come back and start stitching. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina, and today is Wednesday. It's the 23rd of June, and I am here to give you an update on my cross stitch. This was my, third or so patriotic stitch for the month of June, and this one is a Fanci That pattern. It's called Long Macy Wave, and it's unique because it is stitched here on a pre-made banding that I ordered from 123 Stitch. They had the exact size and count. It's 24 count. And so I put it on a little tiny scroll frame and got started on it on Monday, very late on Monday. And then just got started. You have to count very carefully to center everything. You can see I've still got my center marked with my counting. But I got started at the top. I actually started, I think, right at this top row of red and did the red first and then went up and did the blue so I could get over to the eagle and to get it up to the top. But the white in here are beads, and the eagle's beak is a bead, which I may or may not make a black bead. I don't know that I have black beads. I'll have to look. And then you go on down here, and then here are the little gaps for the little girl's hand who's holding the flag. And then she's there, kind of centers the piece there. So I had hoped to get the little girl finished as well, but to be honest with you, I've only stitched one day on this. One day. Well, a little bit on Monday, and then yesterday. I did all this yesterday, except for the red stripes, I think. So, this week has not been good for stitching. This week has been an interesting week, and I will tell you about it here in a second. So, it is Wednesday evening, and we're about to go to choir practice. And I don't think that I'm gonna have much time to work on this when I get back tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and film it for you. And then I'm just gonna pick up a whip tomorrow and get some work done if I have time. So let's talk about what's going on with me that's costing me all this time. Well, you know that I do a big fundraiser at our church every year, and It's usually not this busy till about August for me, but this year the beneficiary that we selected needs work done on a daycare so they can open in time for school. They have a room that the floor is cracked and split, and they have to mop it every day when they have children there, and it gets water underneath it, and they're afraid they're going to have mold and everything else under there. So we have a group of ladies that are going to come in there and box everything up, wash and clean all the toys, and get them out of the way. And then we have a group from our church men's ministry team that are going to go out and pull up that floor, paint the walls, put down a new floor, all in time for their school session this year. And we're doing that in advance of when we do our fundraiser. So we just felt like they needed the labor probably as much as they needed the money to buy the supplies. So anyway, this week I have spent in meetings setting dates and getting, the list of what we're going to do, and then contacting people that have said they wanted to help and lining up volunteers. And so it's been a busy week for that reason. And then on top of that, you've heard me say a time or two that we were thinking about moving. The house that we're in is very, very close. It's only one house away from a huge highway. And our Coco likes to bolt. She'll be playing in the yard with you, playing ball, having a grand time. And if she sees something like a squirrel take off, she'll take off after it. And she doesn't look where she's going. She's focused on what she's chasing. Fortunately for us, so far, we've been able to get her attention and as far as just the neighbor's yard and in the woods. But again, this is too close for comfort. So that really, really makes us nervous, and we hate keeping her on a leash all the time. But in addition to that, there were some things about our home here that we would like to be a little different. The kitchen's not quite large enough for us. My son and I like to cook together, and you can't get two people in the kitchen work area at the same time. And so we've thought about looking to see if we could find something that's in a better location for the dog, and but not too far from my son's work, and still has the room we need for the two families, because he rents his own space down in the apartment below. So we have had a difficult time finding what we wanted. Our house seemed to be the best solution of anything out there we were seeing for a long time last year. And then the pandemic hit and everything shut down, and something happened in the housing market. I don't know if it's hit your area or not, but it has hit our area. So when you put your house on the market, generally it goes very, very quickly. Now we're hoping that ours does, but we have found a home. We found it this past weekend. There was a posting that popped up on my husband's alerts that he had set on realtor.com, and he went out there and he looked at it and he said, I think this has everything we need. And we contacted our agent and we went and saw it that same day, and we put in an offer, and we didn't get it at first. Someone else beat us out, and that was sad and all, and we thought, well, it just wasn't meant to be, but it sure did look like it fit us really well, better than anything else I've seen so far. And so we decided, oh well, we won't put our house on the market yet because we don't want it to sell too quick and us have nowhere to move, because then we'd wind up having to move twice, rent something and then find something. Well, the next morning, our agent called and said, you're not going to believe this, but the person who bought the house, who beat you out, is a contractor. And he has 3 work vehicles he has to park in his driveway, and the homeowners association regulations won't allow him to do that. And when he asked them if they would make an exception, they said no. So guess what? He had to pull his offer. So the homeowners contacted us and said, you were next in line. Would you be interested still? And we said, of course. It's only been a day. We hadn't changed our mind. So we talked with them and worked out the details, and now we have a binding contract on this house, and we are supposed to close July 30th. So now we have to sell ours. Hopefully by then. I would much prefer to sell this house and be able to go to the closing with the proceeds of our home than to have to take a mortgage and wait for this one to sell. So y'all cross your fingers, say prayers for us. We're excited. We're so excited. And the basement in the new home is completely unfurnished. It's unfinished. It's got wonderful potential because it's the full size of the house, which means our son would have an even bigger apartment than he has here, and my husband would have even more storage space. So the two of them can work it out and they can finish it off together as a project together. I think that will be awesome for them, give them a wonderful thing to do together. And I can't wait to tell you, my crafting room is going to be gorgeous because it's the extra bonus room above the garage. I'm so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am. Words can't describe. Anyway, so we're very, very happy that we found something, and now we just have to get ours sold. But what that means is this whole week I've been in contract negotiations. I have been showing my house to realtors. I have been signing up with our agent. Today was picture day, and they came and took pictures to put the posting up on our home. It'll go up this weekend. Sunday is open house, and so my son and I are going to take Coco to the park for a couple of hours, as my husband is signed up to work on the AT trail, and he'll be gone Saturday and Sunday. It's a certification training for safety in the wilderness, and part of that they do is they actually go out on the trail and they help keep it clean and that sort of thing. So he'll be gone. My son and I will have to entertain Coco for 2 hours in the park. Not something I'm used to doing. That's usually how long Tommy's gone with her, but it'll be fun. You can hear her. I know. I'm sorry. She has a toy. Thank you, Donna. Donna from D Squared gave her this little toy, and she absolutely loves it. Anyway, she's making her presence known. But I will love you and leave you, as they say. I've got to get ready to go to choir. But I wanted to show you my progress on the patriotic stitching. I'm sorry it hasn't been more, but not really, because of the reasons. The reasons are awesome. I don't know how much more stitching I'll get this week because I do have to get ready for the open house. And then after that, we'll be packing. So I'm going to try to do it reasonably. I'm going to try to pack some every day and take some time for stitching if I can every day, because we have a whole month and a half to, well, yeah, just about to do that. So it's not like I have to move in 2 weeks like I had when I moved here. We found out about it. We closed on the house and found out we had to be up here in 2 weeks. So that was tough. That was tough to pack up a whole house in 2 weeks. Some of you who have moved a lot in the military, you guys have it down to a science, and I admire you for it. But I am hopeful that we will get to sell our house. Coco, I hope you can hear anything I'm saying. I'm sorry. And I will keep you posted on the process. So happy stitching, everybody. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina. It is Tuesday, it's June 29th, and I am here to give you a little bit of an update. I'm not going to share stitching with you right now, hopefully later today, but what I am going to share with you are some Happy Mail items. I got a wonderful card from one of my sweet viewers who comments regularly. I'll just give you her first name. It's Crystal, but she sent me a lovely card, and she sent me some things out of her stash that she thought I might enjoy, and you'll see why when you see what they are. Isn't that cute? Raggedy Ann and Andy, Johnny Gruelle's. This has several patterns on it. I think they're precious, and I'm probably going to stitch quite a few of them. But I will tell you, this is one of my favorites. That rag doll hanging upside down on a clothesline. Too cute. And that just really tickles my whimsy buttons. And then this is for making homemade dolls. Not quite the rag doll itself, but very similar to a rag doll. And they're actually pillows. I think those are really cute. And I do so I appreciated Crystal thinking of me. Those were things that she didn't feel she would use, and I certainly can. So Crystal, thank you so much. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you about is I had a very sweet viewer who heard about my problem with the floss being a little bit short in my kit, and she sent me a skein of the floss that she had left in her package. And then I had a couple of people comment that they thought I had picked the wrong color in the pattern for the lettering. And I went back and looked, and you're right, I did. So I started the lettering with the wrong color. That's why I ran out. The color I used for the lettering is only used for shading in the flag in one place on that chart. So I will definitely, I'm not going to change it out because I won't be able to, capture that thread. So I'm just going to keep going with the mistake I made and keep it that color. And I will just use my DMC unless I have any other options. So then I got a card in the mail, and this is from Tina Stitches on YouTube. If you're not watching her, you should be. She's doing Beloved, and it is amazing. And then she does some of the most intricate, tiny, beautiful smalls that I've ever seen. I think a lot of them are just Nan's, but she sent me something that she had made. Isn't that beautiful? Don't you love the colors? I do. I think it's gorgeous. And I appreciate it, Tina, so much. Thank you. And in addition to this project bag, which is about to be filled with a project, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit, she sent me a beautiful card. Isn't that precious? And in the card, she had a little bit of silk. And this is from Silks for You. And she was sharing it with me to ask me for ideas on what she might want to stitch this with. Put the white, maybe you can see better than my hand. Isn't that beautiful? Red and dark burgundy, almost purple. Just beautiful. My first impression, to be honest, Tina, was Long Dog Sampler. That's what came to mind. Any monochromatic sampler would be really, really pretty, but depending on how much of this you have, a long dog in that would be striking. So I'm going to use that in something, I can tell you that. I appreciate you sharing a little bit with me, and I appreciate that bag quite a bit. I showed you some fabric last time, and this time I have one piece of fabric to share with you because it's my Fabric of the Month Club. I'm in the Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month, and I'm in the neutral, and this is called Fieldstone. It is a Lugana, but this is the June fabric. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. And so I had all that happy mail come in. I had to take a moment and share it with you. I will tell you what I'm working on, and I will go ahead and show you where I'm at on it at the moment. Let me get it out of the key snap real quick because I've been working on this for the last couple of days, and I'm almost finished. This is my block party, WOOF, And there you have it. Now, I've got to do two things. I've got to back stitch a line across the top and a line across the bottom, I think, that are going to be my sewing guides for putting them together, because there's the top of it and then that forms the sides of it. So I have to do that one little line across there, and then I will be ready to assemble. Very excited about that. So I would really hope that I can finish this up maybe tonight as far as the stitching, and then maybe FFO it either Thursday or Friday, depending on if I have any time. Today is quite busy. We're in the middle of trying to sell our home again. We found a home, and we put an offer on it, and it wasn't accepted in the beginning. Someone beat us out, and it turns out, though, that that person was a contractor and couldn't park his work vehicles in his driveway because of the homeowners association regulations. So he pulled out, which meant we got it, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to show it to you. Anyway, we're scheduled to close on July 20th on our new home. So we put our home on the market right away. We had an open house Saturday, this past Saturday, and we have a contract on it that we got on Sunday. And they're having an inspection of it today. And so that would be the only thing that would create a wrinkle. If they find something, wrong, which I don't think they will, but, that's their job to try to find something wrong. But we're in the throes of that process, that emotional roller coaster of, is it going to go, is it going to go kind of thing. So today I have to clear out of here with Coco so that they can come with their inspector and do the inspection. And then they still have, after today, 2 more days of what we call due diligence, where they can pull out for any reason. They don't even have to give us a reason. They can just change their mind. So we're anxiously waiting for that time to get through. And then once that passes, by Friday morning, we'll know whether we've got our house sold or not. And the plan is that we will close on this house that morning and then close on our new house that afternoon. And this couple buying our current home are being very gracious in offering us 3 full days to move. So I've already started packing. I've already packed up a whole lot of my craft room. And I've started packing clothes and everything else. But I'll have everything ready. I've got the luxury of a month this time. I only had 2 weeks last time we moved. And I will finish packing, and we'll have everything ready to load in the truck the day of closing, and probably have the truck show up the next morning. And we will be able to move into our new home, because the house we're buying, they don't need time to move out because the homeowner already has moved. And so that works out really well, because then we can start moving right away. And we've got all 3 days to move in, so we don't have to empty everything out all at one time if we don't want to. I'm excited about it, but it is nerve-wracking a little bit, and also it's going to take some time. So not only am I in the middle of volunteering at the daycare that we're working for our emporium, which I went back this morning and we finished up our phase 1 cleanup. And then, we'll do phase 2 in a couple of weeks. And the gentlemen in our church that have signed up to help, including my husband, will go in and put in a new floor and paint the walls and that sort of thing. And then that will be phase 2. And phase 3 will be helping to load everything back in, which the ladies are going to do again. So I've got that and a closing going on in the same month. So I may not do a whole lot more than what I've already done, but I'm sure the group would understand that. Anyway, I'm going to have to cut it off now and go put my stitching all away because we heard from our agent that the couple buying our house are bringing their entire family to see it with the inspector today. So we have to have it show perfect because they want to show it off, you know, to their family. And we want them to be as happy with it today as they were when they first saw it. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will hopefully get a chance to come back tonight. I'm hoping to show you an FO, and then later in the weekend maybe an FFO if I get a chance. So happy stitching. I think that's everything I needed to share with you this morning, and I hope to talk to you very soon. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina, and it is much later in the day on Tuesday the 29th of June, and I am here to share with you my finish. I did get my block party finished today. That's the top of it from a while back where I finished that, and I customized each of these puppies to look like their namesake. And then I have today completed this side panel with all the surrounding back stitching in order to sew it together, and the bottom and the top. So I've actually put in 502 stitches today with everything I had to do, and I again counted the back stitching 2 for 1. But I love it. I think it's going to be precious. I went and looked at Kathy Haberman's finishing tutorial. It is under handsondesign.biz, and you can find it there. And it's quite clear, and it's done by hand. It's not machine sewn, so I really like that. I have to look in my stash tomorrow and see if I have any of the stabilizing interfacing that she talks about putting on the back of each of your 3 pieces before you stitch them together. And if I don't have that, I'll have to run get some before I can fully finish it. But I'm so delighted to have this finish in June. I only had 2 finishes in June. And fortunately, I was busy stitching and I didn't buy a whole lot. So I did okay on my stitch from stash. But I enjoyed this pattern a great deal. If you've been thinking about doing a block party, I encourage you to do that. It looks like it's going to be easy to put together. I'll let you know. Anyway, thanks for letting me come back and share it with you, and I will talk to you soon. Happy stitching. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina. It is the 3rd of July. It's Saturday, and today we had a July 4th party. I have not been able to do that for 35 years. My husband runs the Peachtree Road Race every year, and this will be his 35th year. But this year, to help with COVID distancing and to keep from spreading problems, they're running it on 2 different days, and you got to pick which day you wanted. And they're spacing people further apart as they get started and that sort of thing. So my husband decided that he would let me pick which day I wanted him to run based on what I wanted to do. And since in the past, he's always run on the 4th of July because that was the only option he had, we've not been able to have a 4th of July get together with any of our friends. So I said, let's do a get together on Saturday and then you run on Sunday, because that way other people that we might invite to our house on Saturday can do things with their family on Sunday. So that's what we did. I am happy to report that we had a very successful, fun evening today. We started early, about 4:30. Everybody brought food. They asked me what I needed, and I assigned them, you know, something off the menu. And so we wound up having rotisserie chicken, corn on the cob, yellow squash and onions, potato salad, baked beans, and two desserts, an apple crisp and a chocolate delight kind of layered dessert. Anyway, it was lovely. It was just lovely. Everyone had a good time. I had come up with some silly little mixer games because one of the couples is new to our church and didn't know hardly anybody there. And so we invited them to come, and I told all of our regular friends, we have a new couple coming and want you to get to meet them and how much fun I thought they would be. And it was great fun. We had a really, really good time. I think the hit of the night was probably when the guys had to put the ice cream cones in their mouth, the cake cones with the wide opening, and their wives got to throw miniature marshmallows into the cones, which of course very few went in the cones. Those guys got pummeled with little tiny miniature marshmallows. It was hysterical. We went out on the back deck for that one. Anyway, it was great fun. We had a good time. So, I've been doing that most of the day. Well, to be fair, I guess after I got all the food ready and I had my corn on the cob in the oven and my chicken in the oven, I could sit down and rest for a little bit. And so I picked up Long May She Wave. And I decided that rather than start my Jolly July stitching today, since it's the 3rd, and I'm celebrating today, have on my 4th of July shirt and everything, that I would work on this as a nod to the 4th of July. So this is by Fanci That. It's a bell pull, and it's actually stitched on the banding that you see here. And when I started on this, I had completed the little flag with the eagle on top. So today, I did 403 stitches, and I completed the little girl who's holding the flag. I completed the little, looks like a little tree, almost looks like my metal tree with the little ornaments on it. And I completed these leaves and this star. So everything other than this flag and eagle I did today. And that gave me 403 stitches. And I needed that for a pop-up event in one of my Facebook groups. We were to stitch on something that had an object up in the sky, and definitely the flag is flying in the sky. So that's what I did. I was able to also count this for my July acrostic. Our acrostic in 24 hours of cross stitch, you have to choose how you read your patterns, and the choices are digital chart or paper printed. And I have just gotten into the digital world with my pattern keeper, and so most of my charts that I read are paper. Most all of them. I have very few in my pattern keeper so far. So I chose the paper printed as my acrostic. And for this Long May She Wave, I'm using it for the I in the word printed because I'm saying it's in honor of July 4th. So there you have it. I've met one of my acrostics, I met a pop-up event, and I stitched for 4th of July on the day that I'm celebrating 4th of July. So I think that worked out really well. Thanks for letting me share that with you. I'm enjoying working on this banding quite a bit. It's really 14 count. It's probably called 28 count, but it actually turns out to be the same as 14 count Ada. And there's even a stitch that I'm going to do in the border here that's called for in the pattern because they use the same kind of banding. I was able to get that at 1-2-3 Stitch. They had it in stock, so it worked out really well. Okay, that is my piece on Long May She Wave, and I'll be putting her up now and start making my plans for the rest of the month. So I will let you get back to what you're doing, and I hope to get to talk to you, if at all possible, tomorrow with some updates. Happy stitching, everyone. Good night. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the 4th of July. I hope if you are an American or celebrate the 4th of July that you've had a fabulous day today. We certainly have. My husband ran the Peachtree Road Race this morning. Got back just in time to go and sing in the choir with me at church. And then, interestingly enough, we had a hard time finding somewhere to have lunch today because so many restaurants were closed. Hadn't even thought about that. I should have planned a little better. But in addition to celebrating with some very patriotic music at our church, we decided to do some packing to get ready for our upcoming move. And I am happy to report that I packed up my entire guest room today. So all of the sheets and quilts and bedspread and pillows and everything in that room, including all my wrapping paper and gift boxes and things that I had stored in that closet, they're all packed up and ready to go. Pictures are off the wall. We're making progress. So to reward myself this evening, I decided to stitch for a couple of prompts. And one of the prompts was a pop-up challenge, and it was to stitch on something with either red, white, or blue, and to do at least 300 stitches. So I pulled out my pandemic because it is being stitched in my variegated blue, which is the DMC number 93. And I thought that would qualify, and it did, of course. And I went ahead and I wound up stitching 301 stitches in it for that prompt. Then I discovered I had another prompt to stitch on my tallest web. Well, pandemic is my tallest web. So it happens to be in the same Facebook group, so I could not double dip. I had to stitch another 300 stitches. So I did. I stitched another 344 stitches. So guess what? I got my very first page finish on pandemic. So here you go. There you are. I think it's lovely. I think the colors are really, really starting to show up so pretty there. That's beautiful variegation. I'm really enjoying it. And I will show you this too on the back here. I have a couple of threads so that the colors can continue at the bottom on the next page. I've got them down here just around my bobbin, waiting to go down onto the next page, but I like to stitch across. So I have already stitched this to the page break, and in most of the cases here I've even stitched what would be the overlapping pieces. There's one motif here I didn't start. It only had one stitch on this page. In the whole overlap, there are 4 stitches that overlap on this, and it only had one in the overlap zone. And I thought, rather than try to match that thread up at all, I'll just wait and do that motif together. So other than that, there's the page 1. There is a border that looks like stair steps that start right down in this corner, but again, all of those stitches were in the overlap zone, and I decided since it's a big divider, I'll wait and do it all as one piece. So there you have it, page 1 of my pandemic completed. Hit 2 prompts with it today, so that was exciting. So now tomorrow is Monday. It is the first Monday in July, and I have high hopes that if I get enough packing done each day, then I can stitch each evening. That's what I'd like to do anyway. And if that happens, then what I plan on doing is taking one of my Christmas pieces for my Christmas in July, Jolly July, and work on that for at least a day or two. I don't know that I'll get 3 days in, but if I can, I will. And work on one of 4 Christmas pieces that I've pulled out to work on. And that way I can start working on them at the first of the week, and then take the end of the week to do other WIPs as I need to for prompts. And that will allow me to do some Christmas stitching the month of July, and then it will also allow me to meet other prompts. And you know, I like to touch all my WIPs if I can, so that's getting harder to do because I have 15 WIPs. And as I mentioned, my WIP go for this month are 2 new starts. I have pulled them out. I made a commitment to myself that I am going to look through my current WIPs. I am going to pull out what I want to stitch on this month and possibly next month. And I'm going to pack everything else away because I have to get things packed and ready to move. I want to keep out everything I want to work on, but I'm going to need to pack some stuff up. And it's so hard to do. I don't want to. I like having all of my stitching right there in my closet where I can touch it if I want to, and start something new if I want to, or work on something if I want to. But I do have to make some plans of what I can manage, and I won't be getting lots of time to stitch. I have a whole house to pack up. So tomorrow, packing goals will be to go down in our storage area, down in our basement. We have what they call a boat garage. It's a garage for people who have boats. We don't, but we do keep our lawnmower and some things, yard tools in there, but mostly it's shelving with just boxes for storage. And all my Christmas decorations are down there. And so all of my sewing is down there. Fabrics, patterns, everything. And I need to go through those boxes. I don't need to move them again without looking through them. So that's my goal tomorrow. Going down in the basement in the extra storage area and go through all the boxes that are already packed from our last move, which means they didn't come unpacked in the last 3 years. So I need to do some serious thinking. Am I really going to use them? Do I need to keep what's down there, or can I cull some? So I will be doing that tomorrow. Be a hard decision day tomorrow. And then for my reward tomorrow afternoon, I hope to get started on something that's a Christmas piece. So, and then the very next thing I'll need to do, of course, is get started on one of my new starts for my WIP Go board, and make sure I get that taken care of. But for now, I'm going to put away Pandemic. I'm going to straighten up, tidy up my table here, and get it ready for tomorrow's stitching, and I'm going to call it a night. Coco has long ago given up and gone to bed. She couldn't convince me to go earlier, so she went on and got in bed because Daddy went to bed. We did take a little nap together today. She and I curled up on the couch. I have a little bit of footage I will possibly share with you of Coco and me on the couch. She loves to have her belly rubbed. And I was filming a little bit of that today just to share it with you because she's so cute when she does it. And she does something I was hoping she would do, but she didn't, of course, today because I had the camera there. But when you're scratching her belly and she wants you to scratch under her arm on her side, she lifts her little paw up so that you can get to it. I really hoped she would do that for you today, but she didn't. So I will try to insert that footage at the end. and let you just see Coco getting her favorite treat, a belly rub. I hope you've had a wonderful holiday, and I hope I get to video again really soon with some more stitching update. It'll be a little sketchy for a few days. I'll go back and see how many little segments I have so far for this, and if it's enough to pop a video up for you, I will. And if not, I'll keep adding to it. But happy stitching, everybody. Good night.
Why does she have black eyes?
Thirsty, what a thirsty girl you are.